they've done the hard work. They've dug deep and they're getting themselves out of trouble. And in some cases, with Stephanie and Courtney, they've got themselves out of trouble. But still a little bit of work to do for Isabella Nichols. Gabriella Bryan's right there as well. But then Malia Manuel, she's kind of biting her nails.
And it just seems no one can really harness the speed like John does in big surf. And here he goes at the moment. Just a transition turn, weighs up his options and decides not to hit the inside on this one. It went a little ugly, that rod. It definitely had that sensation that you could kind of rip in without the board wanting to pop out of the water. As we see Imai now, he's been on the KT shapes for about 6 years now, and he's been working closely with Keith deVault to get their equipment dialed in, and he's really identified Margaret as one of potentially the key spots for him to lock in a big result. As we see now what looks like the best looking wave of this heat so far. Big carve to get started for John. Cutting back to the power source now, just lining up this inside section. He's done some okay work on the outside, but John uncharacteristically falls on the end section, and that is a statement, because that is such a tricky wave to ride, but you just don't often see him get that.
We check the replay here, look straight into it, cut the bottom turn short, sort of a mid-face bottom turn to get to the first carve, and then just a lot of bump to contend with here. Tries to slam that whitewash section oncoming and just got swallowed up.
What kind of role does the foam on the face play, Rich, in trying to set that rail?
Oh, it just makes it really, really difficult. There's so much turbulent water, disrupted water, trying to connect with the concaves, with the fins, with the rocker of the board here. You can see this part of the wave here, nice and smooth. John just lays on the hillside rail, just extending it. Just that back arm is just such a key part of that turn. It allows him to just put every ounce of power and energy and translate it through to the surfboard.
So just on 20 minutes to go. Imai's out the back. A good opportunity for him to answer back and put up the strongest score of the heat so far. Up into the lip. Just finds a bit of release in the tail there. If he can finish this wave off, he might just get ahead of John Florence here. Drives up into the pocket. Stylish swoop there. Wants something high impact to finish, and he finds it. So a complete ride start to finish. Sitting on the edge of the bubble at the moment with a heat wind, but he's got to be thinking a huge result. But he has to just focus on this heat and not get overwhelmed with the task at hand.
I like this. Beautiful carve on the inside and then finishes really strong. Imai didn't have a warm-up.
Size of the turn that John did on the opening section, but he did finish his wave off, and there'll be some points in that.
Yeah, that was a great comeback wave for Imai. This will be the highest scoring wave of the heat without a doubt.
In the round of 32, John Florence, the current world number 3, going up against Imaikalani deVault, who's going to try and upset John. He dropped a 6 on his last wave. He's got a good looking wall here. Positive start from him. So taking this one under John's priority with a chance to extend. Lines up the end section, belts it. Can he hold on for the finish? Very difficult to do with those two whitewaters clamping together, and he gets squashed.
He put some pressure on John with 2 scores. And there's that foamy face that we were talking about. Hard to hold the rail. Imai does very, very well to get that first turn done, and a second one. There's that twitchiness of the board. It always looks like it's just ready to respond there. Here goes John.
So Florence looking to respond here. Won't need a whole lot to get himself out in front. That turn will help. That big trademark layback jam. Nobody does it better, and an incredibly well-placed floating re-entry to finish. Solid stuff, just the 2 turns, but I think it's going to be a big number.
Well, let's check the breakdown here. Drives around this first section, comes hard off the bottom, leans into it. The trademark layback hack, and this is a really unique turn. It was sort of like a elevator airdrop floater.
Well, John at 70% is any other competitor at about 150. That first turn was unbelievable. Just laid into it so hard, but I think there's big points on offer there. That was a critical section, just read to perfection.
Look, up high into the lip here, jams it. All the weight on the back foot here. And then this turn here, something we haven't really seen before. It was quite unique. Almost looks like he's going to go up and go for the air. Grabs the rail, keeps some stability on the board, and you can see just controlling it perfect as he airdrops down.
You see him motoring around the place, as we see now with 7.5 minutes to go. Florence up again, trying to get rid of the 4.33.
Ooh.
And there is a lot of lumps and bumps to deal with there. And he's out of there, so really just a gift for Imai. And here we go, Imai now with just over 4.5 minutes to go, gets his opportunity. Throws everything at the first section, but incomplete. And that might really hurt his chances. John on the outside with priority. And it doesn't feel like Imai's going to get that shot.
No, he's just not going to get a chance at it, unfortunately. Look, he surfed really well. I think he should take away from this that his performance is there. But back to the Challenger Series.
Yeah, I guess when you reflect on that heat too for Imai, that falling on that last ride, you know, it was the only real wave of consequence that came in the later stages of the heat. So that may have been his opportunity. But again, he puts up pretty decent numbers. But John Florence, very hard to overcome here at main break.